Hey guys, Stephen here from Austin Amusements. Just showing our latest flat packs here. I have a little bit of one on the floor and some of the tools that I use. I just did a video on how to assemble this one here. Problem is it wasn't a video, it was a time lapse. So I will put that at the end of this video so you can see me putting it together. But yeah, they're quite easy to put together. Everything has pieces so it snaps in place. You might notice there's holes here, and all around it as well, and all the pieces will just snap into place. Now, here's our completed unit. It's about 1.6 meters high. So yeah, it fits this one has a 24-inch screen. It does fit up to 27-inch screen. So you've got some choices. Now you might notice, currently not at the warehouse, I'm at home in the garage. And yeah, I'm I think I've got COVID brain because I have COVID, and yes, filming the video didn't quite work out for me, but I'll continue with it anyway. This is the piece, one of the pieces I like to tell everybody about. It is the only piece that comes with it, with the back, that is directional. Obviously the pieces have certain spots that have to go, but this one is directional. So this one goes underneath the control panel. You might notice there is a long side over here and a shorter side over here. The short side is the player 1 side, so you need to remember that. The longer side is the player 2 side, because the start buttons goes underneath the control panel. Player 1 and the credit button go here, player 2 and the credit button go here. So if you put it in the wrong way, you can put it in the wrong way, it will fit. It's just when you put the control panel on, the buttons will hit here. So you would have to then cut a piece out there if you have already glued it together. Yeah, so it's not too much of a trouble if you do put it in the wrong way, but yeah, it is best to just be mindful of that one. So putting it in, the pieces just slot in. So put it in on an angle. Sometimes it can be a tight fit, but it basically just slots in and you're off, and all the pieces are reasonably easy to put in. You might, once you have all the pieces in on one side, putting the top on can be a little bit difficult, especially with one person, because you then have to line all of these pieces up to go into the holes and slowly bang it down. You'll watch the time lapse. I did spend a little bit of time. It took no time at all putting the pieces on this one, but putting the top on does take a little bit of extra time. But there you go, it does end up like that. So if you don't have tools, tools, I do recommend, with the bar tops, I use F clamps, similar to a G clamp but in an F shape. They're quite longer, so they'll go on either side of the bar top. You then, well, first of all, you put glue in the holes. I normally run glue on the side here as well. Put them all into position. And then once it's all put together like this, I'll then put the clamps on, clamp it all in, so that when the glue dries, they'll be held together quite firmly. This one here, the white one behind me that I assembled a few weeks ago, I've actually used L clamps for that. So these are my L clamps. We can supply these for you, but I recommend just getting them yourself from Bunnings, because it'll be cheaper for you. So this is the piece that I get from Bunnings. It has on it, the label says make a bracket flat. So that, I'm guessing, is what it's called. But here's my piece of metal, and what I do is I get my pin snips, cut it. So cut one hole, 2 holes, cut. So you have your 2 pieces, and then it folds. You can fold it over. I have got my 2 pairs of pliers as well. So I have put pliers on either end and folded it over. Then you have your L clamp. So then you wouldn't need it on this piece, but you can then screw the pieces on. So I've bought my screws as well. So another thing you'll need to get from Bunnings. We can supply these for you, but the cheapest option is to do this all yourself. Wheels also came from Bunnings. These are our wheels, 4 wheels. This one's on wheels. You might see it rolls backwards and forwards quite easily. This one's not yet because I didn't attach them. But when you have the machine laying down, you can easily, they fit underneath quite easily and you won't be able to see them. What else did I use? A mallet, so better to have rather than my plastic mallet, it'd be better to have like a rubber mallet that's a bit softer. For my one, I did use a piece of felt when I was banging this together, just so I didn't damage the wood or put any marks on it. So there's my mallet as well. I did use a file as well. So these pieces, you might notice on the back and on the top, the gap from the to where the T-molding would normally go on the side. So if it's routed out for T-molding, the wood isn't as strong on the sides here. So what I normally do is I just file the edges. You don't have to file them too much, give them a good file so they're nice and easy to sort of go into the slot, and then you won't crack the wood. If you do crack it, you can just use silicone or something just to cover it up, or maybe some bog. We also have Perspex. We can supply the Perspex, or you can get that yourself. So we have the Perspex screen cover or the Perspex header. So you can buy the flat pack with those. Did I tell you need a drill? So you need a drill, obviously, if you're using the L clamps, and I've got my glue as well. Now, I always recommend, I think I did this in my last video as well, with the bar tops, I recommend gloves, because the edges, they're not sharp that way, but if you ran them on your hand that way, you would almost get paper cuts on your hand. You can see I've got two of them here because I didn't wear gloves putting it together. But I do recommend wearing gloves, because it is, even if it slides out of your hand, it will cut. It will cut you. It can be quite, yeah. Moving them around, I often find I am cutting myself from the wood. So be careful with that. Yeah, that's it. Watch the time-lapse videos. You can see how I put it together. I'm hoping, yeah, you can get a good description of how I put it together. I did describe how I put it together, but yeah, obviously you're not going to be able to hear anything. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can just give us a call. So there's the time-lapse video of me assembling the machine. I hope it gives you a little bit of insight of how easy they are to put together. The hardest thing to do was the side at the top and just slotting all the pieces of wood in and banging it together. So it's easy with one person, super easy with two, so it shouldn't be too much work for you. It probably took about 8 to 10 minutes to assemble this machine. So we're supplying them as wood only flat packs. There will be a few options. You can add the Perspex header, the screen, you can add the wheels and L clamps if you want. Wheels and L clamps, try Bunnings, a lot cheaper. We also sell all the electronics, so parts, joysticks, buttons, everything you need. Or we can supply them as complete units. So the complete units, we have 2 designs for the decals, but we do customer designs as well. And yeah, we can either put a 27-inch screen or a 24-inch screen in. Obviously prices vary, but contact us if you have any questions. All right, thank you for watching. Hopefully, yeah, you can start building your own arcade machine. Thanks, guys.